Smith here, and today we're going to talk about Florida versus California. Yeah, so let's get right into it. So for those who don't know, I recently moved from California to Florida for grad school, and I've been here a few months. I've been here about 3 months, so I'm starting, to really understand what it's like. So this is just based off my experience. Sorry, Floridians, if you don't like it. So the first major difference is, that weather. It's just crazy here. It's just deadly here. It's just too much. So basically it's the hurricanes. It's the hurricane season, it's the tropical storms. It's all that. So, in California, we don't get hurricanes. We don't get tropical storms. Everybody that I meet here likes to say, oh, you guys get earthquakes. Okay, we get an earthquake like once every 50 years. Maybe not even 50, maybe once every 100 years. And that's like a big earthquake. We get a big earthquake once every 100 years or something. We might get little earthquakes here and then. You might get a little rumble. But that's not, a rumble never hurt nobody. A little rumble never hurt nobody. But a hurricane, that's gonna hurt somebody. Tropical, maybe y'all don't get hurricanes every year, but y'all get tropical storms all the time. And tropical storms, if you've never been in one, you don't want to be. I had to drive in one for about 3 hours, and it was frightening. The rain was pouring to the point where you couldn't see a single thing ahead of you. We were going 10 miles an hour. You could not see a single thing. I cannot. So that's one thing, Florida versus California. California takes the cake for that for me. Also about the weather, the humidity, I cannot. In California, if I want to flat iron my hair, I can, because it's not going to puff up the second I step outside. But if I'm in Florida and I try to straighten my hair, no, it's a problem. Because if I go outside, it's not going to be cute. Another thing that I feel ties in with the weather is the creatures. So, they got alligators and crocodiles out here, and lizards and frogs and all those creatures. And I'm no. If you guys saw my other video, I was talking about how lizards be in my apartment. It actually stresses me out to see the lizards in my apartment. But honey, I wasn't made for this. In California, we might have a mountain, our big creature would be a mountain lion or something like that, here and there, up in the hills or something like that. But hey, a mountain lion ain't really gonna hurt you now, is it? You guys are gonna see that this is gonna be a very biased review, because I'm very California. I'm very pro Cali, anti Florida. So yeah, that is a thing that I cannot get with, the alligators. I'm afraid to step outside because one of my coworkers was telling me how there was an alligator at her front door, and when she opened the door, it tried to bust its way in, and she had to call the police, and the police came and dragged it away like it was nothing. They drag alligators away every day. Come on. But one thing Florida does have on California is the diversity. California is very diverse, but when it comes to the amount of black people, at least, Florida got a lot of black folk. I mean, it is the South. There was slavery here. I don't think there was slavery in California. I might sound stupid right now, but I don't think there was. But I know for sure they had it in Florida. So there's a lot of black people left over from the slave times that, set up shop here. So, there's a lot of black folk here, which I appreciate. I like being around my peeps. So that's really nice. There's a lot of white folks in California, but the white people in California are cool white people. That's the thing. The white people in Florida are racist. The white people in California are cool. Now, let's get into the cost of living. Much cheaper in Florida. California, everybody knows California. Everybody knows California is a very expensive place to live. That's no secret. But it's you pay for what you get. You pay for California because it's nice. You don't pay for Florida because it ain't nice. You always hear the stories in the news of Florida man doing this, Florida man doing that. It's because Florida people are psycho. They are. Again, I apologize if you're from Florida. Everybody's not psycho. Let me stop. Every Florida person isn't psycho. Only 80% of them. Okay. So for reference, minimum wage here is $8 something. Minimum wage in Cali is like, I think it's at 12 now, but it's going up to 15 over the next few years. So yeah, I don't know, shoot. I never bought a one-bedroom apartment in Cali, but I just feel like it would be expensive. You can look it up on apartments.com. But yeah, gas, whoo, gas, baby. I love gas here. Gas is like $1.80. $1.80. I've never seen gas below $2 in California ever a day in my life. Ever a day. So that's very nice. Yeah, so that's that on that. Last thing. The racism. The racism is real. It's real. Okay. Goodness. It's just like, okay, let me start with like the politics. So obviously Florida is a red state for the most part, and California is a blue state 99.999% of the time. I think 100% of the time. I've seen 1 trillion Trump signs in people's front doors, Trump stickers on people's cars, Trump flags on people's cars, Trump hats, Trump t-shirts, Trump backpacks, Trump lunch bags, Trump sneakers, Trump socks. Like, they are Trump out here. And it's just a little scary. Oh, I saw one Biden sign, like, in my neighborhood area. One Biden sign, I was like, thank you. Like, I appreciate that. I really do. Like, I appreciate it. But for the most part, Trump. And then the racism, it's just, so I don't really go outside unless I'm going to work. So my experiences with racism have mostly been in the workplace. And I work with kids. So it's not from the parents, it's from the kids. And I know that the kids are getting it from their parents. So let me give you guys some examples. One of my coworkers said that one of these kids used to refer to her as Brownie. And she is, I'm not gonna say like all her business, but she is a person of color. And she has brown skin. And she was referred to as Brownie by this young child. And I just feel like, where did she get that? Either it could be innocent. It could be like, oh, she's brown skin, I'm gonna call her Brownie. Or her parents are at home calling brown people Brownie. Like, look at these brownies over here. I wish somebody would. Like, oh, heck no. And then there's this one kid who's like super into like politics and stuff. And he's always talking about Trump this, Trump that, Biden sucks, Biden. He be saying like Trump did more for the black community than Biden did, and Biden is racist and Trump is great and this and that. I'm like, okay, where are you getting your information from? Because Trump is like the biggest, like bigot I know. And then this kid, the same kid, he said to me, he was looking me dead in my eyes, I was working with him, and he said that I don't want a black woman as my vice president. Like, you're speaking to a black woman right now. Like, you thought that was okay? Like, you thought that was okay to say to me that you don't want a black woman as a vice president? I was like, I didn't know what to say. I was like, well, that's not very nice. I was like, sir, I was just confused. Yeah, that was interesting. Another thing, I've heard multiple kids, they're referred to black people or other people of color as colored people. Like, actually say, like they actually say like colored people. Like, people, we don't say that anymore. We don't say colored people. We'll say people of color. We'll say, I don't know, people of color. Black, Asian, Mexican, Indian, Puerto Rican. Like, you'll say what they actually are. You're not gonna say colored people. Colored people was on them signs in the bathroom saying colored people only, or no coloreds allowed. Like, we don't say that out here. So that means your parents be calling us colored people still. Like, don't call me that. Don't call me no colored person. Whew, man. In California, I have never experienced anything like that. Like, I'm not gonna say there's no racist people in California, because I know that there are. I know that there's like KKK activity, like, there's KKK activity everywhere. There's racists everywhere, but it's just not as as much as here in like other southern places. So that's not really anything that I've had a lot of experience with. So that has been my experience. Honestly, it's kind of funny, like, when it comes from the kids, because it's just like, because it's kind of like they don't really know what they're talking about, but like they're gonna grow up to learn like these things from their parents, and it's not very funny. It's actually very sad. But hey, you know, it is what it is. Okay, so that's my little California versus Florida list. If you're interested in moving to California, if you're interested in moving to Florida, you know, maybe this gave you a little bit of insight, or maybe this is just a rant for me to get some things off my chest. Who knows? Thank y'all for watching this, and I will catch y'all in the next video. See ya.